It was all right. The boat was still there waiting for her. Pulling it across the grass and then into the water, she dared to look behind for the first time. Her stomach twisted with fear. The gang was storming down the hill, weaving in and out of the crumbling gravestones. Zoe moved faster. She clambered aboard and put the oars out, then started to pull. They were at water now, and though one or two stopped, the rest came splashing madly after her. "Take me with you! Come back, we won't hurt you, just take us with you!" Zoe could see their eyes clearly. She saw fear, but she couldn't trust them. Since she'd lost her parents, she'd made it a rule not to trust anyone. Zoe had heard people say that they'd lost someone, when really they meant they had died. In Zoe's case, lost meant exactly that. It was still unbelievable and so stupid. She looked at the crowd in the water again. If she went back, there'd be a fight over her boat and she wouldn't get a look in. She rowed on, pulling harder, even though she was safely away. Slowly, she watched as the people dragged themselves out of the water and waded back to the shore. Natasha was there too. That hurt most of all. Natasha was the closest thing she had to a friend. Zoe used to see her when the supply ships came, before they stopped coming. After that, she saw her sometimes at the allotments, when she went to put some work in to earn food. They would only have a little chat, but it was enough to keep Zoe from cracking up. But now the allotment had sunk into chaos too. Zoe suddenly remembered their conversation the last time they'd met. She had been about to tell Natasha about her boat and her plans to escape, but she had decided not to. Maybe Natasha had guessed. From something Zoe had let slip. It didn't matter now. The crowd stood quietly, watching her as she rowed away. Zoe didn't feel scared of them anymore. "Sorry," she had said to herself quietly. She began to cry, but she didn't stop rowing. Her uncut hair fell across her eyes, but she didn't stop to push it away. Still, she rowed on, her thin, hunched frame working the oars until finally she had to pause for breath. Feeling around in her pocket, she fished out her compass. It was the last thing she owned that belonged to her parents. For that reason, she'd kept it in a pocket. If she hadn't, she'd have lost it when she dropped her pack. It was a little dented from her leap over the cemetery wall, but it was still working. She pointed herself southwest and rowed. She couldn't remember the name of the place the supply ship used to come from, but she knew the big bit of Britain was somewhere in that direction. She was rowing away from all she had ever known. It was a strange thing. Before the previous night, she had only ever pretended to row. Her dad taught her in the same methodical way he did everything. "You'll need to know how to do this one day," he told her.